example 4. That's similar to problem 4 in your packet. We have a stove and sink and refrigerator, and this is the working area. Looks like a triangle. We want to classify this triangle as acute, obtuse, or right. This big triangle. So we know one side is 6, one side is 6, and this side is going to be 8. So the longest side is 8. So now we try to compare the c squared, the longest side is c. I want to compare c squared to a squared plus b squared. Longest side squared, that's c squared. 8 squared, 64. A squared plus b squared is going to be 36 plus 36. 6 squared plus 6 squared, which is 72. So now c squared by itself is smaller than a squared plus b squared because 64 is smaller than 72. When c squared is smaller, then the triangle is acute. If c squared is bigger than a squared plus b squared, then the triangle is obtuse. If it's equal, it's right angle. On the same problem, I want to find the distance between the stove and the wall, which has the sink and the refrigerator. So we need to know how long is that perpendicular. So here's a right angle triangle. I know two sides. We need to find the third side. I know the hypotenuse. I know the C. I know one of the two legs. I want to find the other leg. So I'm going to be using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 4 could be the b. So a squared plus 4 squared equal hypotenuse squared, 6 squared. 16 equals 36. Subtract 16, you get a squared equals 20. So a equals square root of 20. We can simplify square root of 20 because 20 is 4 times 5. 4 has a square root, which is 2. 5 has no square root, stays inside the radical. So it's 2 multiplied by square root of 5. Third part, you want to find the measure of the angle whose vertex is the stove. Want to find how big is this angle, how many degrees in this angle. So to find this angle, I'm going to be working first on this triangle and then double it, because as you can see, these two triangles are congruent. So if I know 1/2 over here, if I know this small angle, then I can multiply it by 2 and get the whole angle. So for this angle, I know the opposite, I know the hypotenuse, so actually I know the sine. So sine this angle is 4/6. So if I want to know what the angle is, I do sine minus 1, inverse sine of the value of the sine. The sine is 4/6. If you reduce it, it's 2/3. So now I do the opposite. I want to find the angle. I do inverse sine of 2/3 is 33.7. Now I want to find the whole angle. So the required angle equals this number multiplied by 2. So the required angle equals 2 times 33.7. 2 times 7, 14, carry 1. 2 times 3, 6, and 1, 7. 2 times 3, 6. So it's 67.4 degrees. Hi guys. On this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to solve problem 5 first, and then we're going to do other problems. On problem 5, we have segment AB. We know the coordinate of point A, 2, 4, B, 12, 12. C is a point on AB. It divides AB in the ratio 3:1. Like if this is one part, that's going to be 3 as much, 3 parts. And we need to find what the y-coordinate of point C. So what we're going to do first, we know the y-coordinate of B, which is 12, meaning point B is 12 away from the x-axis. So that's 12. We know point A has a y-coordinate of 4. So this is 4. We're going to draw a horizontal line over here. And we're going to draw another horizontal line over here. So now we have two parallel lines, so we can write a proportion. I'm going to call this point D. I'm going to call this point E. So now if this is 3:1 or 1:3, this here is going to be also 1:3. So let's write this down. Since CD parallel to segment AE, they are parallel because both of them are horizontals. Therefore, or then, BC ratio CA is going to be the same as BD ratio DE. So BD ratio DE equals BC ratio CA, which is 1:3. My goal is this, guys. If I know how high point D from the x-axis, then C have the same height. And once I know that height, that's the y-coordinate. And to find this height, I need to find first how high or how long is DE. So if this is also 1:3, I need to divide that BE into 4 parts. But how long is BE? How long is that BE? If from B to the x-axis, that's 12. If I subtract this part here, which is 4, same like this part, so 12 subtract the 4, what's left is BE. So BE equals 12, subtract 4 equals 8. To find how long is each part, BD and DE, I need to divide that BE, I need to divide that 8 into 4 parts. That's going to take 1 part, that's going to be 3 parts. So divide BE into 4 equal parts. The value of each part equals, we take the 8 and we divide that by 4. So each part is 2. So BD is going to take 1 part, and each part is 2. And DE, 3 parts. Each part is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So it's going to be 2 units, 6 units. From D to E is 6. Then from E to the x-axis is 4. So what is the y-coordinate of point D? So y-coordinate of D equals, from D to E, that's 6, plus from E to the x-axis, which is 4, 6 plus 4 equals 10. So if this is 10 away from the x-axis, C, which is on the same horizontal line, is going to be also 10 away from the x-axis. So the y-coordinate of point C is 10. Okay, guys?